In this video, we'll discuss the New York strategy that I use with the brighter data statistics, and we'll have an example on the charts to show you how it works. Let's get back into the chart with the brighter data statistics. So over here we have the brighter data statistics dashboard, where we have the selected asset Bitcoin. We have a calculation period of 1 year, and over here we can see that we have the session selected. We now have the New York session statistics for Bitcoin, and we can see that we calculate the probability of putting in a P1, and the P1 is the first pivot we form in New York session, and that can either be a low or a high. And we can see that if we put in that first pivot at 12 o'clock, we have a 16.9% probability of holding that. We can see if we add all of these numbers, we can see that between 12 and 15 o'clock we have a 91% probability of holding the P1 of that session period. What does that mean? Let's say we put in a low and after that we put in a high between 12 and 15 o'clock. The low has a 91% probability of holding. That means also that upside is most likely to follow. I said a lot of things about the brighter data statistics about the New York session, and it may be a bit confusing. That's why we are going to see an example on Bitcoin right now. This is the time period I was talking about, between hour 12 and hour 15. There has to be some nice momentum to open trades. As we can see over here, this is our pivot 1. Why? We form the high of the New York session and afterwards we form the low of the New York session. So this is pivot 1 and this is pivot 2 between hour 12 and hour 15. And what I just told you guys is when we have a high that is a P1 and we make a P2 low, this is the low of the session, this high over here has a 91% probability of holding, and that's only the case when we make a new P2 after our 15 starts. So at this line over here, that's where our 15 starts. So when we then make a new session low, so we make a new low below this line, we can say, okay, this has a 91% probability to hold and we have still enough room for more downside. We can possibly say that we have a good invalidation. And I also will explain why this is a nice invalidation price action wise. Over here we got a high that is not sweeping anything important, that people are putting their stop loss above that and shorting this move down. This high is getting swept by this high. That high is getting eventually swept by this high over here. This high is creating this higher low that is eventually giving us this higher high. This means that if we want to break out of that move to the upside, out of that trending, so that means that if we want to see more downside, we need to break below this low. And we can also see that we do it over here and it is outside of our 15. So we break below this low with a candle open and close after our 15, and we also make a new P2, a new session low after our 15. And that's where we do it over here. This was our session low that needed to break in order to give us that high probability of holding this New York session high, and we did it over here. You could enter this short when we made a new P2 over here, a new session low, and then you could target more downside. It's important to note that this New York strategy can only be executed when it's aligning with the time statistics, with the distance statistics of the brighter data dashboard, and those statistics need to be aligned with price action. We can't execute trades only based on statistics or only based on price action. With that being said, that was the end of the video and also the end of the explanation. Maybe it's a bit hard to understand at the first time, but you can always ask for a better explanation in the Discord or underneath this YouTube video, and I will help you guys with it. With that also being said, that was the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.